What is going on? Charles Botenston here. We are going to be having a new series called CB Answers. Let me just set this up a little bit. This is going to be a little bit longer of a podcast, probably to hopefully someone's delight or to no one's. Everyone's like, can you make it actually a little bit shorter? Just looking to really get my time maximized. All right, so CB Answers, which is going to be hashtag CB Answers, essentially is going to be me answering comments, questions, and whatever from YouTube videos. So obviously, if you guys have any questions, ask away, and they will be answered on the podcast instead of, a longer one. So the first one comes in, and it says, "Hey Charles, hi, how's it going? Thanks for the video again." I love that. I don't have any other videos that they've seen. If you could make a video about sticking to your schedule, daily plan, or goal. It's challenging to keep it consistent. Love to hear what you do. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. How do you stick to your schedule, your daily plan, or your goal? Well, I think we should talk about why it's easy not to. Number one is your cell phone. That's the easiest way. The internet, I should say. Just the internet in general. Whatever the internet is connected to, you literally have not only podcasts, which you're listening to this, you have social media, you have Twitter, you have Instagram. Literally, we'll just lump all the social media together. Then you have email. So within email, you have all these things that people are trying to get your attention. And the easiest one is just unsubscribe. And that's essentially what I did this year was I unsubscribed from all these BS newsletters that I could care less about. So the first thing is, how do I keep consistent? I have to get things out of my life that normally would hinder me. Okay, so that would be bad relationships. That would be notifications on my cell phone. That would be notifications in email. That would be subscribe to any emails. That would be, I also, for my news feed on my computer, I don't get news on Facebook or a news feed. I have something called the Facebook Eradicator. I have no notifications on my cell phone whatsoever. The only two notifications I have is text messages and phone calls. That's it. Those are the only ones I have. And to be honest, I mostly throughout the day have it on silent. So before actually getting on track, you have to find out what you're doing that's actually making you not on track, okay? Which is notifications, checking email, social media, news feeds, watching TV, whatever it is. I don't have a TV. Go actually into my apartment and find out if there's anything that would distract you besides books and, obviously your cell phone. So number one is get all that out of your life. Number two is, how do you stay consistent? Listen, there's no motivation. There's nothing like you're going to wake up and be like, I'm motivated to go to the gym every single day. I'm motivated to eat well every single day. I'm motivated to do something every single day. It's just, it's impossible. You're going to be tired. You're going to be hungover. You're going to be in a bad mood. You're going to be in a good mood. You're going to have fluctuating days. You're going to want to make sales calls maybe 2 out of the 3 days. There's rarely a day I wake up and I'm like, I'm 100% in on today. I'm going to the gym. I'm rocking it out. I'm making my sales calls. In other words, how do you stay on track is just knowing you're never going to be motivated. You're never going to feel like it. Like, yes, after a while, of course, you're going to see results. You're going to see your body transforming. I'm going to go to the gym more. Now you have a higher standard. You see yourself studying for a test, and now you're getting better grades. You're actually getting into schools that you wanted to. You start practicing for whatever the case is that you're practicing for, whether it's an instrument or sports, and then you see yourself improving in relationship to everyone else that's practicing and improving. That's going to make you want to do it more. So the first thing is eliminate all the shit in your life that's just bogging you down. Number two is just know that you're never going to feel like it. And number three is, and I'm not saying never, but number three is before you actually see results is when most people quit. They say January, I think 17th is when most people just give up on the gym. January 1st, they're like, this is the year. They get a brand new membership. January 17th is statistically pretty much the cliff when people they just say, you know what, the gym is not for me. And there's noticeable statistics on the amount of people that are actually logging or, swiping their key card and going to the gym. So just know that 17 days minimum of eating right, of going to the gym, of whatever, minimum. Okay? So hopefully that helps. Maybe. I don't know. Moving on. Thank you, Charles, for the video. Thank you for watching. I know I already asked you this, but please do a video about taking notes on books. I have been reading for 1 month. What, literally, or just the same book, and feel that there are a lot of useful information to get from each book. Okay, it seems like he's been reading the same book for a month and he's going to be getting information. However, I also know that I'll never implement all of them. Okay, that's positive, but it's true. You can't implement everything you get. So how do you know what the most important idea to take? All right, first of all, I'm definitely going to be getting better at reading, thinking, and saying. So just bear with me on that. So the question ends, so how do you know what the most important idea is to take away? All right. So that's obviously subjective. That's completely up to you. That's like me telling you this is the kind of car you should buy, or this is the house you should buy. It's like, can you afford it? Do you like that area? Can you actually have the amount of income to pay for the mortgage? What about dating? Like, I don't know what your type is, but that's the thing is, when you go into a book, when you go into anything, you have to understand that there's always something that you need to take away. If the book is $15, as long as you get $15 worth, you're amazing. You're perfect. But that's the thing is, also just know going into reading, you're not going to be getting everything. You're going to get a lot of things, but like you said in this, you're never going to be able to implement everything. So you want to get the top 2 ideas, the top 1 idea, and just implement that. Because if you get 6 things, there's no way you're going to be able to implement 6 things. There's no way. It's impossible. So go in, know that you're going to pull at least 2 things out of the book. Just think about that as the theme, because there's always one underlying theme within a book. So say there's a Kelly McGonigal. She wrote a book called Willpower Instinct, I think was the name of it. And the entire book essentially is her proving that you have diminishing willpower, okay? Your willpower is really high in the morning, and then throughout the day it just diminishes. It just starts leaving you because you have less energy. You start breaking down. So anything you need to do in the morning. The entire theme was about that. So what do you take from that? Is that anything I need to do of importance, I have to do in the morning. That's it. That's the entire underlying theme. So then you structure your day around it. She also had some really good other points around that, which was, if you have sugar, you're most likely going to be making other bad decisions, which is maybe drinking that night, or overspending that night, or buying something online, or whatever the case is. When you do something that breaks your willpower, you're most likely going to be doing something else that breaks your willpower. That's just how it is. But that wasn't the overarching theme. If you even got the overarching theme, which is do the most important thing in the middle of in the beginning of the day, then the book was 100% worth it, because you'll make a ton of money. You'll get in shape. Because if you start terribly in the morning, you're going to not do anything that's going to like reverse it in the middle of the day. In other words, if you eat like shit in the morning and you don't go to the gym, there's a very low chance by the midday or the evening that you're going to be like, you know what, I'm going to turn this around and go to the gym at night. Very hard chance. And then that's the thing, is that once you go into the evening with no willpower, and after eating like shit, not going to the gym, blah, 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 the evening is going to be even more challenging, because that's going to loop into the next day. And then the next day you're going to eat like crap. You're going to skip the gym, blah, blah, blah. So the first thing is, just know, I used to do what you did, which was, number 1, try and get as much stuff out of there. Number 2 is spend a month on a book. For me now, I will get 1 or 2 ideas, write them down in a draft email. Once I have that draft email, I just keep it there, and I look back at it over the course of a week, and then I implement it if I need to. If I don't, if it was just like general information, I just keep it there. But that's what I recommend, is quantity over quality, because there are so many books, especially once you start going. Listen, I'm 10 years into self-development. So once you're 10 years in, there's not a lot of new things unless it's a breakout book like Anti-Fragile or, I can't think of anything now. But once you've read through The Success Principles by Jack Canfield and How to Win Friends and Influence People, and you've just read as much as I have, you really either have to go to a completely new subject, which is Brian Greene's style. Brian Greene is the guy. He did a PBS special on the universe, and just it was unbelievable what it was about. But that's a totally different subject. So everything in there, I don't know. So it's going to take me a while. But if there's something that I pretty much already know, it's not going to take me that long. All right. So just get 2 to 3 things. When you're first starting out, it's all about quantity: books, podcast, email, everything, any kind of education. You've been in it for a decade, it's all about the quality, and then you could read a little bit slower. But in the beginning, I wouldn't take a month. All right, moving on. Here we go. Hi, my name is Natalie, and I am a full-blown time waster. I need help. I think I know who this Natalie is. Went out with her brother in New York City for a coffee. Not as a date, but just, I said, listen, you drop a couple of great comments and always participating, always listening and things like that. He'll probably even comment on this. But Natalie, I was you. So the first thing is, you wouldn't be a full-blown time waster, which is first of all, I have to commend you on the authenticity of that. Because a lot of people would just be like, you know what? I sort of waste time. What's the number one thing people say? I'm very busy. Oh, really? What'd you do from 10:15 to 11? Oh, you're on Facebook the whole time? And then you went to lunch until 12? And then you came back and then you worked for a half an hour? And then you went to get coffee at 12:30, 1 o'clock? Don't tell me that you don't have enough time. Okay, so the first thing is actually admitting, myself included, is I admit I don't work 100% all day. And it's really hard. You kind of need that 5 to 10 minutes every hour to just clear your brain. There's a book out there. I forgot the name of it. So good. It's The Power of Full Engagement or something. I don't know. I'm totally making up that book title. But it's about working smart. And they said every 45 minutes, take a 10-minute break. Walk around, completely just drain your brain of whatever you're going to be doing, because after 60 minutes, your productivity goes down. And then you start just delaying things. So you have to reset every 45 minutes. So essentially, number one is awesome that you actually admitted it. Number two is, I feel that anyone that really does waste their time in anything, say you're on vacation, would you waste your time? What if you're at a family party, or you're out with your friends, or you're doing something that you love, like painting or photography or videography or whatever it is, say skiing, you're doing something you really love, you wouldn't waste time on that vacation. You wouldn't sit inside. So reverse engineering that is, do you really like what you do? Do you really want to do what you do all day? Clearly not, because you wouldn't be wasting time. So I think the first thing is finding out what you really want to do. So how do you find out what you really want to do? Number one is look it up for about a week. A bunch of shit that you never even thought about. And then the second week is do that. Whatever it is. Cycling. I think everyone should have a side hobby. And that side hobby is something they are really, really passionate about. For me, it's cycling. I love cycling. I know girls that love to run. I'm not a runner. I don't like to run. Then there's other people that like to play ball. Whatever the case is, some physical activity or something, dancing, going to the opera, reading, writing, podcasting, whatever the case is, have that side hobby, because you'll not only look forward to it, but you'll also understand maybe what I'm doing, which is sitting at a desk, and you're in finance. I don't know if you're in finance, but say you're in finance and you're sitting at a desk and you absolutely hate what you do and you want to get the hell out of there. You understand, okay, you know what? I really like podcasting. Maybe I go into radio. Maybe I work at a radio station. Maybe I work for an influencer. I really like photography. Maybe I do it on the side, build up some clientele, and go out on my own or work for a big station or whatever the case is. I don't know. You do what you need to do, but the biggest thing is you have to understand that the only way, quote unquote, forward, the only way forward is actually doing what you like. So awesome that you've actually admitted it, but you have to find out what you like, because otherwise you wouldn't be wasting your time. All right. Next question. Hi, Charles. If you do the seminar in New York City and what that all your subscribers, okay, if we could speak English or relatively good English in these comments, please. I'm kidding, but not really. Okay, what that your subscribers just take your phone and do a live video, because if not, only your new. Okay, so essentially he's asking, can you do a live video for your New York seminar? I'm not going to do a live video, but I'm thinking I'm going to tape a portion of it, because it's going to kick ass. It's going to be awesome in person. There's going to be a lot of camaraderie. There's going to be a lot of goal setting. There's going to be a lot of Q&A. It's going to be really good. Listen, the first one is not going to be the greatest, but that's the thing, is the first one I'm going to understand what people like, what people don't like. The second one is going to be better. The third one's going to be better than that. The fourth one, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you right now, the first one is going to be awesome. I think I actually have a date now that I'm looking it up. I'll make a video too, because I want to make sure that it's filled up. And we might need to get a larger classroom, I should say, than what we have right now. Yeah, so we're looking at 9/12, which is a Tuesday. So it's the Tuesday after Labor Day, 9/12, September 12th, from 5:30 to 7. And it will probably be about 15 minutes of introductions, going around the room. What do we want to cover? What do we want to talk about? I'm going to have about 45 minutes of content, and then another half an hour of Q&A, and then 15 minutes of just, people exchanging contact information. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that, starting this up, getting to know each other, having a group, getting a tribe together that everyone thinks the same. So that is going to be September 12th, 5:30 to 7. Any questions, obviously, shoot it over. And here is the last question. All right. So they start off, here's an idea. Please do the first thing. Please do something on start changing. Why? I want to start changing in so many ways, but I don't know where to start. What is the first thing that you do? What is the basic? And how do you upgrade it from there? I start to build myself a system, a schedule. I like it. It's good. It's detailed. There's no charts, but just a list. And okay, so essentially what they're asking is they make a list. Really goes back to what the first question was, that they make a list. They really want to change something. They just don't stick to it. So going back to the first thing is, if you actually know what you want and you actually have a schedule and you're not sticking to it, there's not a big enough why. Okay, the big enough why. This is why. If you lose your job and you have no money and you have to get a job, you will do anything to pay rent. If you have a child, to make sure that they're taken care of. If you have a spouse, to make sure they're taken care of. Like, your why is, I don't have a job. I need to ensure that they're covered. So essentially you have this wide spectrum of whys, which is provide for them, do it correctly, do it right. When you don't have a why, but you have a schedule and you're not sticking to it, that's the thing. Like, a doctor tells someone, listen, you got diabetes. Like, what are you going to do? You either go to the gym. Great story. My buddy's father literally had a heart attack, and he went into amazing shape for like 2 months. And then I recently saw him, and he just lapsed, and he's back to what he's, it's like, bro, it's like, I can't help you. You need to figure out that you need to be around here when your daughter is graduating, when your son is getting married. You want to be here, correct? Awesome. Okay. Well, get in shape, bro. It's like, that's what you kind of want to say. So the number one thing is, you got to get a big enough why. Your why needs to be, if I don't do this, this is the pain I'm going to get. If I do this, this is the reward I'm going to get. So his pain is dying. Can you get a bigger pain than that? The second thing is, what's the reward? I'm going to be around for my daughter's wedding, or my son's wedding, my daughter's graduating, or whatever the case is. I want to see my parents, more often, so I need more energy. I'm going to make time for it. You have a big enough why. If someone gives you a call and says, hey, listen, your mom's in the hospital, your father's in the hospital, your sister's in the hospital. You drop everything. Your why is to make it to that hospital to say hi, to say goodbye. You're in a relationship. They say, I want to break up. Your biggest why is, why? What do I need to do different? What's the next thing on my list to go out, start dating other people, blah, blah, blah. So I can't stress it enough. The number one thing you do is you get the schedule, which you already have. You get what you want to do, which you have. You need to get your why. You need to get that in, like, literally just in your bones, in your mind, in your heart, in your body. So this is the first one, CB Answers. Let me know if you want a better title. That's an all right title, right? CB Answers 001. And I think we're going to be making some longer videos as well. I think we're going to be actually taking this to video. It makes me a little bit more passionate and whatnot. I'm also yelling in a phone booth during work, and people around me are like, dude, stop yelling it during work and whatever. They're like walking by and pretending like they're not looking in. So have an awesome day. Subscribe to the video. Let me know what your questions are, and we'll feature it on the next one. Talk to you guys soon. Right now.